You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I am back. Rodgers for Black and White Sports 2. Well, we're going to talk about Aaron Rodgers and the 49ers, the San Francisco 49ers. You might be like, wait a minute, what? If you're a Jets fan, and there's a lot of you subscribed here now because we've covered this Aaron Rodgers saga, and if you're a Niners fan, you guys know I'm a Niners fan. I got a lot of Niners fans subscribed to this channel. Both parties are going, wait, what? Are we doing this again? We are doing this again, and there are a couple of things to pay attention to involving all of this, okay? There's some pieces that if you look, you're like, wait, what is going on here exactly? Again, and I agree with Mike Florio on one thing. Florio come out and said that he believes that Aaron Rodgers intentionally used the word intentional. In other words, intention. It is his intention to play for the Jets. He did not come out and say, I'm going to the Jets. I am going to play for the Jets. He didn't say that. He said, it's my intention. And at the time he says it, and look, a lot of people say stuff they intend to do, but you never know. That's not a definite. It's not a definite statement. And granted, he might not be able to show his face in New York if he does not end up there. But I don't know what the hell's going on right now involving Aaron Rodgers because, look, we've got that we're going to get to in all of this. This is getting really interesting. Tiki Barber thinks Aaron Rodgers going to the 49ers is a very real possibility. A stunning report in early April from FS1 star Craig Carton indicated the 49ers might be attempting to put together a trade package for the Green Bay Packers QB. Quote, the conversation has been multiple third-round picks in this draft and a first-round pick in next year's draft, Carton told viewers a couple of months ago. We did a video on this channel about that. Trade talks haven't publicly advanced between the 49ers and the Packers, and Barber thinks this must be a typo. Trade talks still haven't advanced between the Jets and the Packers, I would assume, is what Outkick is trying to say. And Barber thinks the 49ers are now a very real option. Quote, all of this is simmering. You know what? There's video to this. Let's just play it. This is getting strange.
Might be about to realize their worst nightmare ever. Ever. They haven't quite mortgaged their future because
he's talking about the Jets and Jets fans.
They haven't given anything away yet for Aaron Rodgers, but they've set themselves up with the idea that Aaron Rodgers is going to be their starting quarterback next year, which is going to give them a chance to get to the Super Bowl and do XYZ and yada, yada, yada. But there has been this little inkling of an alternative for Aaron Rodgers. As Brock Purdy is saying, he's not sure he's going to play. So if the 49ers move on from Trey Lance, the other presumptive starter, and they sign Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's the starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, who were in the NFC Championship game a year ago.
He would have been better than what they had last year.
True.
In terms of Purdy going down, but I hear you.
The answer is hell no.
Okay.
So all of this little simmering is not even like smoke coming out of this thing. It's just a little crickling of flame starting to burgeon up underneath the leaves about Aaron Rodgers actually going to the 49ers as opposed to the Jets.
Oh, here we go.
Now has some validity. Because if the 49ers...
What are you doing to me?
Hold on. If the 49ers trade Trey Lance, and again, the clock is probably off on him because they like Brock Purdy better. If they trade Trey Lance and Brock Purdy isn't available to play this year because of UCL surgery, Sam Darnold is not. I promise you, is not starting for the 49ers. They will go get, and they're okay to mortgage their future because they don't care. They're not worried about losing their jobs. They've done it before. They've gotten to the championship game. They've gotten deep in the playoffs, right? This team will go get Aaron Rodgers if he's available, and the Jets, the premise that we started this with, will be stuck sitting out in the cold with their underwear on, and that's it.
I don't know about all the extra part at the end, but you get the point. You get the point. Aaron Rodgers made it clear in March he wants to leave the Packers and play for the Jets. The Jets have indicated they are willing to welcome the QB with open arms. GM Joe Douglas also guaranteed the fans Rodgers is coming, and that's the clearest indication of the team's plans. However, there's been virtually no public movement on the issue, and the Jets and Packers are reportedly in a standoff over trade compensation. You can't tell me there's not a third team. You cannot tell me that. I won't believe it. You can't tell me there's not a third player in this somewhere. There's got to be. It would be irresponsible of no other GM to have at least called the Packers. Neither team reportedly interested in budging. That means the Packers might start looking elsewhere. Rodgers is from California. The 49ers have plenty of talent on the roster and nearly made the Super Bowl last season with Brock Purdy under center down the stretch. Now, let's get to this. Niners, Brock Purdy, not really sure if he'll play. Brock Purdy, who underwent a torn UCL on March 10th, said in an interview with Yahoo Sports that he's, quote, not really sure if he'll be able to play in the upcoming 2023 season. This is certainly not the update the 49ers were hoping to hear, particularly after GM John Lynch said he was hopeful to have Purdy ready by the start of training camp. However, both head coach Kyle Shanahan and Purdy have been more realistic involving the QB's return. Shanahan said on the 28th in the NFL owners' meetings, I don't exactly know when he's going to come back. There's no official timeline, but missing the entire season is likely the worst outcome following a promising rookie year. Absolutely. But he's still a 7th-round pick, and would it hurt for him to get some more reps on the side? Maybe not. Maybe not. To sit and watch, digest Aaron Rodgers for a year or two. Now, let's get to this. Florio. This is on the heels of the Trey Lance trade talk. Vikings 49ers talked Trey Lance at the scouting combine. Per a league source, the two teams talked about Trey Lance. I've also heard the Houston Texans are involved here. The source doesn't know whether that's currently happening. The Vikings have since restructured the Cousins contract. They take a significant cap hit, $38 million if the Vikings trade Cousins before June 1. But the Vikings need an answer for 2024 and beyond. It's unclear whether they'll truly think Lance could be the answer. The problem is Lance hasn't played much football over the past 3 years. His 2020 season was severely limited due to the pandemic. 2021, he barely played at all, despite a preseason belief that he'd be used extensively in a Taysom Hill style package. He wasn't. Does anybody remember that? I forgot about that in all the Trey Lance drama. They were supposed to use him as a Taysom Hill wildcat quarterback / running back situation where he would have the option to run, pass, whatever. They abandoned that very quickly. And a lot of people believe it's because Kyle Shanahan believed he couldn't even do that, actually. Lance became the full-time starter before suffering a season-ending ankle injury in week 2. Now, it says, more recently, the report the 49ers are, quote, fielding calls. The truth could be that they're initiating them. Has one more practical impact. It gets the word out that Lance is in play. Yeah, that's what I thought as well, okay? I thought about the fact that the Niners put that out there because they want to start drumming up some traffic. You know what? On a side note, it's kind of interesting. Kyle Shanahan loves Kirk Cousins. They're having conversations, maybe. Already had some conversations, maybe, with the Vikings. Could the Niners throw a pick and Trey Lance at the Vikings and Kirk Cousins come? You can't tell me if Brock Purdy is lost for the season, the Niners are going to start chasing actual starting quarterbacks around the NFL because they believe They've got a Super Bowl kind of team, a win-now team, and they're going to want a veteran QB. If Brock Purdy is out, they're going to want a veteran QB, and I'm not talking about Sam Darnold. I'm not. It's going to be somebody else. Tom Brady, line one. Tom Brady, line one. I'm just throwing that out. I threw that out there on the side. And look, we've made a lot of videos on this, but the longer the Jets and the Packers go without coming to terms, at what point do the Niners make an offer? If they truly think Purdy could miss the season, it would be irresponsible for the Packers to not take a better deal with another team. Yes, Rodgers would not be able to travel to New York. He wouldn't, outside of playing a game there. But if the Jets can't close the deal, if the Jets aren't willing to take it a extra step to just say to the point that the Packers are like, okay, that's the deal we wanted, or that's close enough, we're doing the deal. If the Jets aren't willing to go there, Aaron Rodgers is not ready to retire. So now what happens? I think this story about Purdy being out for the season combined with Trey Lance being traded, kind of interesting that the Niners would look to trade Trey Lance and Brock Purdy be possibly out for the season. Our starting quarterback is possibly out for the season. We don't know for sure yet. His status is totally up in the air. But the guy that's one of his backups, some people believe he would be in the slot for the actual backup to the team, or backup to Brock. He's on the block. Sam Darnold? Really? And look, I actually think they could win with Sam Darnold. But I don't think Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, the guys that once called the Patriots to ask if they could trade for Tom Brady, I don't know. This is getting so interesting now. As we close in on the draft, and yeah, I got a little, my Niners fandom is showing a little bit right here. Chill. Woosah. But this is getting interesting. This is getting really interesting. And you know what's funny? I can't help but think about Greg Giannotti on Boomer and Geo saying that he got correspondence from somebody that told him, look, the 49ers are very much in on Aaron Rodgers right now. This was 2 days after the Craig Carton thing broke. Greg Giannotti said, yeah, I got some correspondence. And it said a guy's got a source, and he can't tell the source because it's somebody that would get their ass fired that's laying in the weeds on this whole thing. Now, I should note, fully aware that the Packers could be trying to use this as leverage. Fully aware of that. All right? Could be using these radio guys as leverage. But the deal is not done. And if I'm a Jets fan, I'm starting to get concerned, especially with all of this stuff going on around the Niners. Now, I meant to say this yesterday during the Trey Lance video, and I forgot. I will say this about Trey Lance. One of the biggest things I had an issue with, outside of the fact he only played that 1 year, is the fact that they drafted a guy that his college team had taken the year off because of COVID. And so it limited his college experience. And we got to remember, after that draft, they had limited participations because of things that were still involving COVID and all of this kind of thing, right? So this guy just missed out on a bunch of reps. And who knows? Maybe Trey Lance would have done something in a normal NFL season. Maybe. But he got hurt. He's gotten hurt multiple times. And I'm just going to tell you, with John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan's personality, do not overlook the significance of that Making It Rain video that came out, emerged with their quarterback Trey Lance in it. My gut feeling, and I don't know this for sure, but my gut feeling is that pissed John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan off. Just my gut. But I think somebody, one of the two or both, sat back and went, that's not the behavior of a franchise quarterback. Even if he is young. Didn't see that video come out about Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes or any of these other young guys. Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones, hell, not even Zach Wilson. Justin Fields. You get the point I'm trying to make. This wasn't a video of a cornerback or a safety or the third string running back. This is the guy that was supposed to be your franchise quarterback. That doesn't sit well. I'm just letting you know. With front offices, look, I'm a Niners fan. Didn't sit well with me at all. I saw it and was like, that dude's not a franchise quarterback. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.